Welcome to Mudrogue. Thanks, guys, for having patience in me. I know it's been about a week since I did a video. Work. Time's been what times are, and I go to work. I get up around 3:30 in the morning, and when something really awesome comes up, it gives me a burst of energy, and I do get those videos up. The last week or so, last couple of weeks, the through the week news has been pretty mundane, and I don't like bringing you mundane news. Now I can make it exciting, but I have to be full of energy. So I may be doing the show once a week for a while now. I just don't have the energy to do it more. So like I said, I do apologize for that. Now, what I have for you today is good stuff. It's good Kabooming stuff. So I'm going to get to that right now. We're going to go right off my Telegram channel. All right, now let's get to this video. It's it is what it is. You can read it there too.
These are the final seconds before volunteer medics in Ukraine, including American Pete Reed, seen here exiting the white van, come under vicious attack.
Oh, Kaboom!
The images.
Oh, that is so terrible. That is like the CNN reporter says, that is a vicious attack. Now, I think that's a little bit of editorializing to say vicious attack. It is war. In war, all attacks are in general vicious, regardless of who did it. Now, I would like to mention is they didn't hit the military covered Jeep with a red cross on it. They hit the van. Now, whether you will say, well, that's the same thing. They must have known. Who knows? Who knows what they knew? But I'm going to give you that. This, if you're pro-Ukrainian, is horrendous. But how about what I got over here? Comparison to what you just saw. Ukrainians evacuating wounded. It looked like they had a wounded guy getting kaboomed. This video, and because I'm also going to upload this to YouTube, I'm going to have to block out some of it, block it out. But enough you can see is that what you see is a guy on the ground in the what I can see in a stretcher, repeatedly being grenaded by allegedly Ukrainians. And then there's a video of another guy wounded on the ground. And according to the caption here, Ukrainian drone targets the rescue and transport of wounded soldiers, something that according to the Red Cross constitutes a war crime. So if this video is allegedly true, what it is showing is Ukrainian drones repeatedly dropping grenades on guys that are just laying there, or who are wounded, or who are on the stretcher. It's no different than just shooting a guy who is unarmed, his hands behind his back, in the back of the head while on the ground. The old executing prisoner thing, right? Oh, and I have something on that. The Euro Weekly News. Video footage of alleged execution of Russian troops by Ukrainian soldiers authenticated by the United Nations. I went to the Euro Weekly, and I cannot find that article. All right, I did find this, which is interesting. Russia makes bizarre claim that the U.S. is recruiting jihadists to commit terrorist attacks. I think there's more to it than this. The Euro Weekly is very pro-Ukrainian. I was looking at some of the stories, and I understand where Magadunk can get some of the ideas that he does. But I do check the stories just to let you know, just so YouTube understands that everything. And of course, they've never gotten me for lying or anything. They just don't like the way I present things. But I double-checked the story, and I found this, and I can reference this also. Now, because I couldn't validate that the story is true, I'm going to just throw alleged on it, and you can believe this or not. But look at this. This is allegedly, look at that symbol, an ISIS symbol. This is allegedly a soldier fighting for Ukraine in Ukraine with an ISIS patch. Whether there's an AP. Again, I said alleged YouTube, so I don't know exactly when, where, or what is going on in this photo. I'm just repeating what I read that this is. And this kind of fits in with that story that I read over here, that the Russians believe that the U.S. is recruiting jihadists. And in particular, Russian news agency reports on February 13th statement in which it claims the U.S. is recruiting Islamic State. I believe that's ISIS. Yeah, affiliates in Afghanistan and Syria. All right, let's get to a little bit of footage where we see destruction, but we actually don't see any death. No, right here. It's a near miss. Lucky, no one got hit. Right now, if we move over, now they're all duck and cover, guys, duck and cover. And then in the next video over here, we see an explosion and no bodies and no nothing. So there's nothing to censor, YouTube. Nobody got hurt, and we don't see anything. Move on. Now let's look at this. This is the Russian forces working the trenches, clearing the rascals from their little holes. Beautiful, man. It's beautiful. So this is part of how the Russians clear out trench lines in these forests. Artillery, as you saw earlier, boom, 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 boom. And then the tanks come in, pa 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 pa. Clean that out. I promise you, it's only tea. Off the subject. I got this Budweiser Zero. I don't know if you guys can see it. So it's alcohol free. Sucker gives me headaches. I had 3 of them last night, and oh my God, my head hurts. So you get the headache, you get the beer taste, but you get no buzz. Oh my God, I really got to get back. I cut back on the caffeine. This is decaffeinated, and I cut back on the alcohol, and I'm just a miserable SOB. Oh my Lord, that's probably why I'm so stressed during the week. But how'd I get on that? Back to this. Oh yeah, this has a sense of relaxation to it. Hey, it's like that Tom Cruise movie. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. I'll clip it in. It's beautiful, man. Beautiful. Oh yeah. So after that's softened up, they double soften it up, and then the Wagner troops will move in. So this is allegedly in a Ukrainian city, and this guy has volunteered to join the military. You got it. All right. So he's allegedly volunteering, and those are allegedly Ukrainian soldiers in the city taking them away to the front line. All right. Look. The sign said there's a crosswalk right there. So let's yeah. No. I think it's the same guy. I ain't going. Now here, what we got here is some baby dolls. Baby. I'm not drinking. All right. Now the Ukrainian women are sent to the meat grinder, allegedly. Due to the collapse, irretrievable losses in the ranks of the armed forces of Ukraine, the criminal Kyiv regime, alleged, began to mobilize more and more young women. Now, one of the women here is carrying a rifle. And whether they're actually, I'll be honest, I don't think they're actually going into the trenches in combat positions. I think they'll be used for support roles, transportation, and snipers further back. But I just don't think I personally don't think they have the physical capacity to be meat grinding it in the trenches and running from car to car, building to building, dodging artillery. If that is what they're going to be doing, then they should not be so enthusiastic. They have been sold. In that case, they have been sold a lot of propaganda that war is easy. It's not. Now, I reported on this story a few weeks ago. I didn't have any hard evidence on it, and people would say, "Well, that's a bunch of bull crap. You're being another theorist. You're seeing boogeyman behind the tree." And again, let me pat myself on the back. I guess I was right. How did I know? Because I use my brain. I look at the information. I weigh it whether I think it's true or not. I look at the other factors, and I come to the conclusions. So this is that former CNN reporter Cuomo. Look what he's talking about to this guy about. Let's get some sound.
What does it mean to you, what you're learning how to do, and then actually having to go do it? Being out on the battlefield, you know better than kids your age what the reality is.
So we'll leave it there. Kids your age, mainstream pro-Ukrainian media. They're about 3 weeks behind me. They're about 3 weeks behind me telling you that the Ukrainian military is sending teenagers, kids, to the front line. Now, the other story about the Ukrainian soldiers military sending women into combat, I'm still throwing a legend on that to keep myself safe from YouTube. Over on Odyssey, you ignore that, okay? And you know what I'm saying, because you know what I think is happening. I think the Ukrainian military is so out of resources, human resources, that they are doing what their Führer did at the end of World War II. At the end of World War II, he was scraping the bottom of the barrel. I've seen historical pictures where little 13-year-old boys were dressed up in their little German uniforms, ready to fight the Russians. It's really getting that bad for Ukraine. I really foresee a collapse. I think that sometime by the end of summer, that the Russian forces are going to drive back the Ukrainians, drive them all the way back to the Dnieper River. My fear is that Russia winning this war so decisively is such a threat to the New World Order that there is no telling to what extent that the Western powers will escalate the war. Now, going off of what I just said, let's take a listen at this.
We're listening to the Ukrainians saying they don't have enough ammo. And even our Defense Department is saying we might have to figure out a way to get more funding so that we have enough ammo for ourselves and to give to allies like Ukraine. What is Biden's responsibility in trying to make sure that people in America whose support for Ukraine is softening will want to continue to try to help them?
Well, I'm going to try to help explain to the American people that defeating
29
the
billion
Russians in Ukraine is the single most important event going on in the world right now. It will save us an enormous amount of money down the road if the Ukrainians can succeed. They're not asking for any of our personnel. They're asking.
It is the reason we're in Ukraine. And is Ukraine really the single most important issue? It's not. It isn't. It is to him. It is to all the New World lizards destroying Russia. And notice what she said at the beginning. And we talked about this before. The war was to deplete Russia of its military power. The war was to impose sanctions on Russia and destroy its economy. Russia is an economic and military threat to the West. Not because we think Russia is going to attack us, because Russia challenges our hegemony, our world authority over the entire planet. Senator McConnell here, the reason it's so important to him is because we needed to dominate Russia like we need to dominate China in order to stay top dog on the world. And who dies and how much it costs and how much we neglect the nation here back at home, it doesn't matter to him. Whoever pulls the strings, all they really want is total control power. It's all about the New World Order thing. But listen to what she said at the beginning.
We're listening to the Ukrainians saying they don't have enough ammo. And even our Defense Department is saying we might have to figure out a way to get more funding so that we have enough ammo for ourselves and
I've been saying that for months. People say, "Oh, Mud, you're a QAnon person. Where'd you pull that out of? You just see shenanigans everywhere you look." No, I use deductive reasoning. I dig the truth out of this propaganda, Western media. I dig the truth out and I look at it. I listen to other commentators. They do the same thing. And my conclusions are similar, a little different, but similar. And I draw out the truth. And I've been saying for months, the West is out of ammunition. The West is out of resources. This war backfired completely. Instead of destroying the Russian economy, we have ruined our own economies. Instead of depleting the Russian military, making it weaker, we have made ourselves weaker. And right here, Sky News, very pro-Ukrainian. NATO's badly kept secret, which I've been telling for months. And people say, you're crazy. Who's crazy now? Ukraine's backers struggle to keep up with the demand for munitions in a race against Russia. Cold War cuts, COVID-related supply issues. Yank me. A lack of raw materials have taken their toll on Ukrainian Western allies. The war has backfired. It is the West hurting. It is not Russia. Russia's become militarily stronger. The West, the U.S. are militarily weaker. But there has not been a political will to produce more munitions. There's no money. We're giving it to the rich donors of our politicians. Remember, Ukraine is a laundromat. Money is being laundered to Ukraine back into the pockets of the uber rich. In that process, Ukraine was supposed to weaken Russia. None of it happened, all right? I'm right. You haters were wrong. You were wrong months ago. I was right all this time. Okay? You need to subscribe or follow the channel and contribute to the good work I do here. Now, I saw this. I saw this and I came up with my own caption. I don't know what it says in the Ruski language there, but to me, a man is capable of anything. Not this zero alcohol beer. But I imagine that his dorm mates were upstairs and they hollered, "Who wants the last beer?" Real beer. And what you're capable of doing when something's important enough for you. Let's take a look. Yeah! Yeah! Actually, I'd be willing to do that for a cheeseburger. All right then, guys. I'm gonna hit to the schedule of once a week at least, if something important. I get energized when I see some hot news, and I just want to come and report it. So if that happens, I'll be uploading in the middle of the night if need be. Also, remember to subscribe and follow the channel. When I see those numbers move up, it does motivate me. And doing this type of show, it really takes a lot of motivation. When YouTube suspended me for the week, they really gave me a kick in the sacks. You know what I mean? It did knock off my drive. I've been doing this for going on a year now, and darn, I think the 18th of March will be a year, and you guys have really helped to keep me motivated, while YouTube has been dragging me down the whole time. So if you subscribe and follow, give it a thumbs up and share the videos. All those things help to motivate me. If you want to contribute to the work I do here, head down to the locals page and you follow the links. And you're bright. You'll figure out how it works down there. Everything helps. Thank you again for watching. I am really sorry that I'm doing these just once a week. I promise you, when I get my energy back and things are a little bit better, and I don't have so many things stressing me up upstairs there, that I will be doing these a lot more often like I used to. Again, thank you for watching. Y'all have a good week. Later.